Hi everyone, it's Gina. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, I'm so glad you stopped by to join me. I have such a fun project today and it's so easy and it turns out so adorable. Before we get started, I want to say thank you so much to all of you who have been great about watching my videos and not just watching them, but liking and leaving comments. I've had such a great time getting into conversations and getting to know some of you a little better. It's great fun, and that's one of the best benefits about having a channel is the opportunity to meet such wonderful fellow crafters. The likes and subscribes and shares and comments, all of those things are just so important to every YouTube creator. You guys taking just a moment to hit that like button or to say, hey, thanks for sharing, that makes the biggest difference in the success of our channel. So thank you so much to all of you who have taken just a moment to be engaged and to help my channel grow. I really appreciate it. I also want to say thanks to those of you who watch my entire video till the end. That's also really important and another aspect that YouTube takes into account before recommending and promoting a video for others to see. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got a couple of circle punches. If you watched my last video, you'll know I just acquired a couple more. This one is new and it's a 1.5 inch. This is a 2 inch, and this one I already had. But after I was finished my last video, I sat here and I kind of kept playing. And what came from that playing is another cute, adorable, easy to make paperclip ephemera. Let me show you. Are these not just adorable? I love how they turned out. And this is with the 1.5 inch circle punch. Now, it's not a totally hidden paperclip, but they are just so cute, and you can still obviously use them as a bookmark, and it still makes a great piece of ephemera for any kind of journal, but it's just so cute. These, like I said, are the 1.5 inch. I did do a 2 inch, and I ended up doing a lot of 2 inch. It just depends on your design and your image, how big it is, what the appropriate size punch would be, what looks good to your eye. So, you know, there's no rule here. I even made a 1 inch. I just love it. And look, if you're lucky enough to get those teeny tiny little paper clips, they work perfect for this size. I got that one from my crafty friend Nancy, who you hear me talk about. She came over yesterday and we had a crafting day, and she brought over these teeny tiny ones. And Nancy, I'm going to have to ask your help again. If you leave a comment about where you got these, I can't remember the company that had them. Don't know if they're even available now, but I asked her just to bring me a couple. So any size will do, as long as you have, you know, an appropriate size paper clip. You don't want the paper clip bottom to stick out too far underneath. That kind of destroys the whole visual image. But they're super fun, super easy. So stick around and I'll show you how I made them. Before we get started, I wanted to show you where the images came from that I'm going to be using. Nancy was generous to bring me a few of these pages with all of these gorgeous fall images. I have already punched them out with a 2 inch circle punch, and I've made a few to show you what they look like already, and they are just gorgeous. Let me bring you in. They just slide right on. And I love how they go all the way to the very top. So the whole image is below the line of your book or whatever it is you're clipping onto. Okay, here are the images that I chose to work with today. And I've got 3 small paper clips. And I have 3 pieces of Sari Silk. And I like to use this because the color of it goes really well with what I'm making. Also, I like it because my art glitter glue works really well on it, because I always put a little bit at the top when I fold it up just to hold that together, and it binds really well and really quickly. So it's just very convenient to use. Now I do need more than this. The way I've been making them is with 3 circles. I'll punch one circle that I want to show on the back, and then I'll punch another circle that's going to go over top of my paper clip, but that won't be seen, so it doesn't matter what color it is. And the third circle will be the image that I want to show. So I need all of these three to make one bookmark. So the first thing I do is I take the circle that's going to show on the back, and that's the piece that's going to have the paper clip. Okay. Then I stick my piece of Sari Silk through. Now this is roughly 1.5 inches. As you can see, they're not all perfectly the same size, but that's about what they are. This is probably closer to 1.25 inches. That's just a little guy. But I'll take the piece of Sari Silk and stick it through. Now you may want to know which is the front and which is the back. So when you put your Sari Silk in, or whatever you're putting in, you may have a certain way that you want it to look in the front. The way I do it is the side with the smaller piece of the paper clip is going to be covered. So the larger piece will show in the back because it gives you more space to grab onto the page. You can do it the other way around if you want, but another reason I do that is because it's smaller and there's less to cover, and I'll have less of a bump or ripple in my paper. So those are the reasons that made me decide to do it this way. But you're welcome to flip it around and do it the other way if you would like. So I stick my Sari Silk in and I push it all the way down. Okay. Might want to fiddle with it a minute just to see how it's going to look. Okay. Got kind of a squishy piece. It doesn't want to open. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm going to just put just a little bit on top. Okay, I'm going to pull this piece up, and I'm just going to slide up and hold it with my fingers while I do the next step. Okay, you want to make sure your paper clip is all the way pushed down to meet your paper so that your Sari Silk is right up against your circle. Now you're going to take your piece that's not going to be seen and you're going to glue it on top. I just run my glue all around, wiggly jiggly, just everywhere, and then we're going to lay this piece right on top. Now with art glitter glue, it dries really quickly. You do have a second or two to kind of get it into place, but after that you're stuck with where it is. so work quickly if you're going to use this glue. I kind of pinch up at the top right by where the paper clip is. Make sure that that's nice and glued down. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Because we covered the smallest side of the paper clip, there's just barely just a little bump in there. And that's why I use this additional piece of paper, because you can just put your image on top and not use this extra sheet. But if you put another piece in there and then you put your image on, you really don't notice where that paper clip is at all. So that's why I do it this way. The last step is to go ahead and add your image. Now it's put together, but to me it wouldn't be completed without inking on the edges. Am I right? Yes. Obviously this step isn't required, but I just love the look. I think it really finishes and completes the project. Okay. And there you go. Isn't it a beauty? I love it. I did try to do this project basically using the process that I use for my hidden paper clip, but it is hidden. I personally am not fond of how it turned out. Now you may like it and it may be fine, and I'm sure you could always put some like words, or if you have a stamp that's curly, or you just want to write something, that would work. It just didn't give me that, oh yeah, that's just awesome feeling. But if you want to do that, you certainly can. All I did was fold over my paper and then position my circle punch to where I had a little piece that was hanging out that did not get punched. And then that helped it fold over. And then I just followed the rest of the process from the video. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll attach it at the end. It is my most popular video on my channel, so I know many of you have subscribed to my channel based on that video, so I know a lot of you will already know what I'm talking about. But that is an option, and I still may work on this design a little bit. We'll see. The great thing about these is it takes just moments to make. If you wanted to do this like in an assembly line and you really crank a lot of these out, you know, you could get a little dish with your paper clips. You could get a little dish where you've already pre-cut your Sari Silk or your lace or whatever it is you're going to use, and then pre-punch your circles, and then just boom, just go to town. And then all that is sticking the Sari Silk through, pushing it down, and then gluing everything together. It is so fast, but the end product is just so cute. So I'm going to finish these two. Aren't they adorable? I love them. They're so fun and they are so fast to make. Now, if you don't have a circle punch, of course that makes things a lot more difficult. You can still make them. You can find a circle or a lid or something that you can trace around and then you can cut. That adds a whole lot of time and probably a little more stress to the project in trying to cut that circle just right. But yeah, if you have a circle punch, that is definitely the way to go. And you can just really make a lot of these. So with fall coming up, you have some beautiful fall paper. These are great little teacher gifts. Even your children can do this. I mean, this is a simple project. They can make some to give to their friends. You can pass some out with some candy on Halloween. The options are endless. And you can always take this a step further as well and do a little more embellishing. You can put little words or you can do some stamping and, do whatever you want. I was just taking advantage of the gorgeous paper. It keeps it simple. You end up with a beautiful end result and it takes a lot less time to make. So if you're wondering how I'm planning on packaging these, let me show you. I went through a few attempts and let me show you what I did. I have this die that punches out this little shape here and I thought that would be the perfect thing to use. So I made holes that my paper clip would fit through, and so I just inserted my paper clip and I was trying to figure out how I wanted to decorate it. Now this was the first attempt and I just did some stamping. It took a long time and actually I inked around the edges, which I'm not sure is necessary, but I had two different stamps and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stamps. And I thought, I don't want to spend more time making the packaging than I did making the actual project. So I thought, let me try again. So I took another piece and I just did one stamp, which was a script stamp. And I'm not sure exactly what happened. I don't know if I didn't ink it well or it just wasn't even when I stamped it down. But, having the corners not be stamped was not intentional. That's just the way it came out. So I thought that was really cute as well. And I stamped the other side with a different stamp just to see how that would look. And that's really pretty as well. I want it to be eye-catching, but not be too busy to where it distracts from the images of what I'm actually showing and wanting to sell. So then I thought, you know what? I see a lot of things sold on just plain craft paper. So I did that, and I just wrote my name down at the bottom. I'm thinking about getting a stamp with the Artful Addict on it, so that I maybe can just stamp, or I could even just stamp that on the back, maybe adding a bow, or maybe sticking something through here. You know, I might have it just hanging. I think that would be real cute. I made several like this. Now these are on the 1.5 inch because the images on that paper fit that. It was another sheet like what I showed you. It had just a ton of squares with images, but the images were smaller on that paper. So the 1.5 inch did a pretty good job of capturing the image. So this is what I'm thinking about how I want to package it. I'd like to hear from you what you think. And I'd like to know, how much would you be willing to pay? I was thinking of, you know, the two for maybe $1. I don't know. It's so hard to figure out what to price something like this. It's adorable. It is handmade, as is basically the packaging. But you don't want it to be too much to where people are like, yeah, I'm not paying that. So $1. I thought, you know, $1.50 maybe. But I was trying to keep it on the whole dollar so that I didn't have to deal with change. So I can't wait. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about the packaging and about the price. Look, I loved how these came out. So I thought since they went together, I had to put 3 on one. Well, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoy these, and I hope you make these. And please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about my packaging idea and how much you think is a fair price. I am so anxious to hear your feedback. All right, that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.